This is Fox News with Alert. Our Carl Cameron is with Donald Trump in Green Bay, Wisconsin right now. Carl?
Hi, Brett, and he's just about to jump out to the stage, but we got an opportunity. Thank you for doing this, Mr. Trump.
Thank you.
So today, big news about the Undersecretary from the Department of State, Patrick Kennedy. You know the details. Obviously, you're upset about it. What do you want done?
Well, it's illegal. I mean, what's taking place is illegal between Justice Department and the FBI and Secretary of State and the State Department. I think it's crazy what's going on. It's totally illegal. It's a criminal act. It's a crime. And I hear the Republicans are going to hold hearings after the election. Why would you hold them after the election? You want to hold those hearings before the election. But this is a criminal act, and it's incredible that they can do this and get away with it.
So there you go, taking shots at Republicans again.
Oh, it's very disappointing. I mean, when you see that, and you'd say, what's the purpose of holding them after? Now, after is better than not having them. But, you know, we have 22 days. That's a long time. You would think you'd hold these hearings, frankly, immediately. This is serious stuff. This is big stuff. This is Watergate.
We're in Wisconsin, home of the House Speaker Paul Ryan, who you've been having a battle with. Question, what is it about your differences and aggravation with the Republican Party? Are you trying to change the party? Are you trying to lead and unite the party? What's the goal here?
We're trying to unite the party, and we largely have it united. I mean, every once in a while, Paul will stand up and say he disagrees with this or that. For instance, when I talked about a rigged election, when I talk about the press taking people with absolutely no case whatsoever and trying to put it on front pages, that in its form, it's a media rigging of the election. You look at certain areas of the country in terms of the voters and the booths and everything else and what's taking place, and illegal immigrants voting and people that have died 10 years ago voting.
Well, now, most of the investigations that have happened about voter fraud in past elections has been more about voter registration fraud, not voter fraud. And just today, your campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway, suggested that you were talking about past elections, not this one. What evidence is there that you've seen that suggests that there's voter fraud underway now?
Well, I am talking about past elections. I'm talking about recent elections, but past, because that's the ones we have to judge by. And when you look at the voter fraud, when you look at illegal immigrants voting all over the country, when you look at people that died 10 years ago, I mean, there's one person died 21 years ago, and that person's still voting. Was a Republican, now votes Democrat, which is sort of an interesting phenomena. But we have voters all over the country where they're not even citizens of the country, and they're voting. And you look at certain cities. I won't name them right now. I mean, there's cities I want to do well in.
Well, you've mentioned Philadelphia quite a bit.
Well, Philadelphia is one that's mentioned. I think Romney got no votes, and McCain got no votes. I mean, like, no votes. And Philadelphia is certainly one. You look at what's going on in Chicago. You look at what's going on in St. Louis and many other cities. There's tremendous voter fraud. And how Republican leadership doesn't see that is beyond me.
So this morning, once again with the tweets, you were talking again about some of your accusers going back to the last debate, where you said that you would prove that their allegations were false. Have you yet proven that, and what should we be looking for as evidence that it's false?
Absolutely. Look, first of all, they were all lies. They were made up stories. They were fabricated, whether they like Hillary or whether they just want to become a little bit famous or something. You take a look at the butler. The butler was supposed to be the witness. The butler was my witness. I mean, it was 100%. That was a disgrace that they were able to say it. And, you know, it would be very easy to say apologize, but you can't apologize for an event that never took place. These events never took place. The one young lady has 5 family members saying what she said is absolute nonsense. She admired, respected. She thought Donald Trump was great. Invited me out to her restaurant in April. I didn't even know who it really was. He was a contestant on The Apprentice, I remembered. Invited me to a restaurant. Obviously, I didn't go to a restaurant, and then got very nasty with the charge. It was totally bogus, but the press should report it as bogus. Every one of those charges were false, and they were lies.
But what's the evidence of that other than people just saying it didn't happen? I mean, if they didn't see it, how can they say they didn't see it?
I'll tell you why. Because, first of all, it didn't even take place. It didn't take place. I didn't see them. The woman on the airplane 35 years ago or 30 years ago, I mean, you don't even believe that one, okay? But, I don't know, maybe you're very gullible, but you don't believe that one. We'll have a woman on the airplane 35 years ago. No, these were bogus charges. These were lies. These were fabrications. And you know, I like saying it. Somebody else would say, let's focus on jobs, which I do. Let's focus on ISIS. Let's focus on the Second Amendment and judges of the Supreme Court justices. And I agree with that, but I want the truth to come out.
But you keep saying that the media is collectively working against you. Do you really think we're part of a global conspiracy, really? I mean, honestly, Fox, a global conspiracy?
Right. Fox hasn't been great. but the others have been really bad. Yeah, I would say that Fox certainly hasn't been great, but you've been better than some of the others. I would say that's true.
All right, Britt, we're going to send it back to you. Mr. Trump got to get on the stage, and we'll be out there on the riser to tell you about it afterwards.
Thank you, Carl, and thanks to Mr. Trump.